no, man, I still go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go, go, go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hockey Night in Australia. It's a special one today as we recap the AIHL Finals series. I'm Gordon Goodenough, joined by Sean O'Connor, Eric Brook, Tristan Metcalf, and from the Canberra Brave, Nick Christensen. How are we all today? First of all, Sean, you're wearing the B hat. I am.
This is the first time on this podcast that I'm wearing Brave merch, but I couldn't help myself today. It's a pretty big week.
And you've changed location from Phillips Ice Skating and Swimming Centre. So
I have. I actually changed this location last week for our pre-finals podcast, and it's still up because now we're doing post-finals. This is the location to be at.
And Eric, you've got some new jerseys in the background and a new jersey on.
I've got the 2023 Indigenous jersey for the North Stars. I'm still waiting for the blue one from this year to arrive. But what I think I'm going to do is, when I put a new jersey on, the next week it'll go up behind me and we'll sort of rotate that way.
And Tristan from the Cook Islands, how are you feeling, mate? Have you partied hard this week?
Yeah, mate, it's been huge. So party hard Thursday night after the Brave beat Perth, and then went back to work on Friday. But no, it was good to get to the afternoon games at a nice friendly time for me. Made them nice prime time games.
And Nick, today's your first day back at work. How did it feel getting back into the 9 to 5, mate?
Yeah, not as fun as the weekend, but yeah, it's good to get back. Good to get home.
Yeah. Well, we will be recapping all of the weekend's action, of course, soon. Just a shout out to our team that was on the ground, Hockey Hype Australia team there, getting their photos taken. That was Cassandra Edwards with the fish eye lens. It was a lot of fun. We were running around very much confused, but it was good fun. But let's get into things. First of all, Friday, the first game, Melbourne Ice against the Brisbane Lightning. Did you see this game, Nick?
Yeah, I watched, I think, like most of it on AIHL TV. I didn't go in person, but yeah, I watched most of it. Ice kind of took it away pretty quickly there, so not much there for the Brisbane, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Brisbane, their best sort of shot to get into the game was that offside call early when Fedor put one in the net.
Oh.
Got waved
But how
off.
good a goal was that, though, Tristan?
That was nice.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I was jumping up and down here. I was ecstatic when that went in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was sort of their one chance to sort of push against the tide. Then after that, it all went back the other way.
The question that I have to ask GG is, did Brisbane play their semi-final against Adelaide the fortnight before?
I think they played. Maybe they played their preliminary final Friday. I think Brisbane is a team that that it's just a second year, right? So I think they'll continue to improve. We had a chat with Terry Kalinick after the game, and he did mention that specifically they are a second year team. What they're building, I think, is going to be something pretty special, and hopefully they get some of the imports back that came over this year. But yeah, I think there's positive things for Brisbane for sure. But yeah, Melbourne Ice just dominated them, got ahead, and I think three goal lead after the first period, and it was pretty. It was going to be a pretty steep hill to climb. 4 of those goals, though, were on the power play out of the 5. So 5 on 5, they matched up pretty well.
I think that's one thing that Sasha Rapchuk also said during the post-game press conference. He said that we're really good 5 on 5, But unfortunately for them, they didn't spend enough time 5-on-5.
No, took some penalties, and it cost them in the end. You can't give a Melbourne Ice team that many opportunities on the power play and expect to come out unscathed.
I mean, Canberra also suffered the same thing in the first couple of years, going to finals in like 2014, 2015. Like they used to concede a lot of penalties in finals, and it would cost them dearly. I remember that game against the Melbourne Ice. I think it was 2015. We ended up getting smacked, and that was because, London ended up in the sin bin a lot.
Yeah. Were you around for those years, Nick? Were you following the Canberra Brave? How long have you been following them?
So I moved in 2014 to Canberra. So I've kind of been practicing with the team since Matty Lomo was coaching way back when.
Yeah.
And I've been friends with the guys for a while. So I was following pretty closely. I remember the Blunden. I remember Blunden high sticking a guy coming up off the ice. I remember that one very clearly. Some tough times, not being there in the game itself, but I felt for the guys. They had a few runs to finals. I remember they upset that dominant Ice team that one year, just to lose to Newcastle in the final. That was tough. And then I think they won it the next year. Then there was that ridiculous Ice team, I think, in 2017.
Yeah,
that was a crazy squad. They were coming close a lot. But they were in the bin a lot as well.
Yeah.
And of course, that was the last time that Melbourne Ice had been in the finals prior to this year in 2017.
Yeah.
We do have the Kramer goal lined up as a replay, which got the ice going. So I'll just.
Casher looking out towards Albrecht, battle for the puck. Goal on time. Here's a chance. Going to pass it. And it's a goal in the ice. Kramer scores. The Lightning denied on 1 minute and then concede the next. That is crisp from the Melbourne Ice. And it starts at the blue line. It's the little poke through at the blue line that keeps it going. It's Austin Albrecht makes the play and allows the Ice to make that 2-on-1 opportunity. And when you're 2-on-1, it's very easy to get that goal. It's that he takes the hit to make the play in Albrecht. And Carolina, when you can let a 2-on-1 get in that deep as well, it's so difficult. Look how close Carolina is. He's looking past the whole way too, but when you're that close, that in deep, he's below the hash marks. It's
so you call a smooth operator there. That motion is just so smooth.
And Matt Caruana was looking for the pass the whole way. Yeah, 4 assists. I don't know if they've changed the box score since, but immediately after the game, he was credited with 4 assists. Pretty decent playmaker that game.
Actually, that's an interesting point out of the weekend. So you look at that top line of the Ice, the Caruana, Kramer, Albrecht line. Caruana and Albrecht didn't score a goal all weekend in those 3 games. Kramer nailed 4. Nick, was that something you guys were a little bit aware of coming into Sunday's game, that Kramer's your shooter? Like those other guys are looking to set him up, that he's going to be the trigger man?
Yeah, I guess to an extent, we played with Albie last year, so we know him really well, and that guy can rip the puck. So we're definitely aware and kind of thinking on our penalty kill, like, okay, Kramer, Albie, you got to watch out for the flanks. And, Albie does these big loops, kind of gets speed and kind of comes down. So we're definitely thinking about that. But, Max pretty nasty player. You can, look you off, hesitate. He gets the job done really well. So all 3 of those guys are pretty dangerous. So you got to keep an eye out for all 3. And Matt can shoot too. I've seen it a few times.
Nick, especially considering after the first game, you really don't know who you're playing. Do you have a mindset of we just have to play our game and it doesn't matter who we play against? Yeah,
I think that's a big one. I think we've kind of learned that from years previous, especially kind of feeling like we really wanted the Mustangs in finals last year. 3 games, 3 days. You don't have too much time to focus on who you're going to play next. So just take it one day at a time, whatever it is. Matt Harvey is really good about kind of keeping us as a team in the right mindset. Just whoever comes, we face them. It doesn't matter. You don't want anyone either way, because then you're kind of already in that mindset. So with the 3 days turnaround and especially in the quick rest, just whatever happens and let that ride.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting what Harvey said during the interview that we had the last week, where we asked him about the 3 games in 3 days, and he's like, we don't even think about it, because as soon as you start thinking about it, you start to create excuses, and that kind of dominates your thinking. Was that also the message in the dressing room?
Yeah, for sure. I think especially on a Friday with the short rest, like coming from a 7 p.m. game to I think it was a 2 p.m. game, that's not even 24 hours. You can make a lot of excuses. You can be like, oh, we didn't have enough rest. But if you have the mindset of, oh no, this is an advantage. We just came from the hardest battle of our year, where we're ready to go. We're in the mood. And yeah, we can take it to them from the drop. Then you're kind of in a better mindset. You're more positive about it. And yeah, you're not making those excuses. And that is something Matt was really good about, just kind of making our mindset positive when we can, and translate these possible negatives into the right mindset going forward.
Well, let's get into that second game. We've covered the Melbourne Ice, Brisbane Lightning game, the Canberra Brave, Perth Thunder. What an absolute cracking contest. And I think people had predicted even beforehand this could be the matchup of the weekend. And there's we had a good game Saturday night as well, but geez, that was a tight one. How did that one feel for you, Nick?
Yeah, that probably was my favorite win in an AIHL in a Brave jersey. That was an unreal game for us. First weekend, first game of our big weekend. We knew the Perth was a great team. 3 lines deep. They have great locals. They have great imports. They have Hikusaka, who's like a B local import, but he's ridiculous. So, he had a lot to handle on that team. It was also, you had the pressure of having guys that Matt Harvey could have been their last ever game. You didn't want that to happen. So, yeah, the pressure was there, and it was a fast game. A lot of intensity, and it was really close. Alexi played great. Leo Bertin played great. It was a game of inches, and luckily we were really happy to get away with that win.
Yeah, I must admit, from home, it really did look like it was a almost chess game. It was just so evenly matched all over the ice.
Yeah. I think they kind of ran a similar kind of line formation that we did, kind of splitting up their imports and their good locals. I forget. I think it was Vertez, Berard, and Kairos on the top line. And you got Bro and another import in the second, and Hikosaka or something. And you're similar to what we do, kind of split it out and run 3 lines. So there was no uneven matchups. It wasn't going 1-for-1. You weren't kind of trying to get the right matchup. It was just everyone kind of rolls, and you got in a real good flow that way. But it was really tight. Really intense game.
So there were a couple of attempts. I'm going to play one which won't have audio because I screen recorded this one. But this is, I don't think we've seen a Michigan goal in the AIHL. And Nick, you were a part of this one. So I'm just going to play it, and then we're going to dissect it a little bit to get your thoughts. So I mean, I think we can talk over the top of it, but Vertez, he's setting up here, and then you spot him, and boom, and not just that, the second little shove to the ice, was that a statement? Was that a statement, Nick?
No, there's nothing against it. The Michigan, I think I just I knew it was happening, so I kind of picked it up. Kai has tried that on me 1,000 times in practice. I'm not going to happen in a semifinal game. But I honestly lost sight of it. I kind of got spun around, and I thought he still had it in his feet. And I was just I got to take him as best I can. It was nothing personal, I swear.
Nick just saying that this is my zone. Get out.
Yeah. I was not letting that happen. No way.
Channeling you inner grapes, not having any of that showboating sort of stuff.
Exactly. My Tortorella was speaking for me.
But this second one
would be great to see. Honestly, it would be great to see a Michigan goal into the AHL. Anything that brings those sort of highlights in is great.
It would be great. And there's that one kid in WA, he pulled off 4 times a tang. He's going to get one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's the kids. The future is
Yeah.
bright.
Those
We've
pesky
got
kids.
we've got the second one, Nick, which I know you know it's coming. But with 3 minutes left in the game, 2-1, Perth are pressing, and then this is what happens.
Some space, hands off. Gets the give and go from Jones. James Zone moving in, shooting. It's losing puck. Oh, they gets it out. How did that stay out? Addison couldn't poke home. The rebound from Jones' shot. Let's have a look at the replay. Great play from Webster on the give and go. Nick Christensen did just enough. And he was pumped as well.
Oh man, you look how pumped you are, Nick. You were so pumped.
Yeah, I was a little excited. Yeah.
What feels better for you, scoring a goal or that feeling after clearing the puck off the line with a 1-goal lead?
I've never scored a goal that big. That's by far the best clearance play I've ever done. Yeah, that takes it for sure. You know, it was great. The guys were awesome. Like they're I don't know how many props I got, and just like guys hyping me up after that game. That was awesome.
Here we go.
So,
Leroy, best save
Leroy,
ever, Nick.
thanks, buddy. No, it was unreal.
And then Tim, the savior. This is going to be a new nickname, Nick.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's already got the Christ part in his last name, so there's the savior.
A little religious
savior.
figure.
Do you have a nickname, Nick, by the way?
I do have a nickname. It's Cheeseburger Fat. Is my nickname. It's a bit of a story, but I'll tell you briefly. But so Matt Harvey always seems to be involved in these things, as he does. He's kind of a nickname guy. And I think it was McCormick Cup. We're kind of coming back from New, and we have these big 5-hour bus rides. And you got to pass the time. You usually have a few beers. And so we decided, okay, this will be funny. Let's try and like freestyle rap. A bunch of white guys on a bus. This will be great. It'll be hilarious. And so I've like never freestyle rapped in my life. And I was like, I'll give it a go. I ended up just kind of word jumbling, and I ended up just saying something extremely embarrassing that is not appropriate for work, but it kind of has cheeseburger fat in there. And Bailey kind of set it for our alarm when we were on the road together for about 2-3 years now. So it's stuck with it, and it's just kind of become a thing. So cheeseburger fat. It's even my my Switch name now. So I've accepted it. I've adopted it.
Do you shorten it to anything?
Cheese fat.
Well,
fits.
I know that the fans do have another nickname for you, Nick, and
they
here
do.
we are with Ali.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Do you know what the origin of the Sanger is?
I do. So when I first got sponsored by the Cave Dwellers, I didn't really know them very well, but kind of introducing them, got to kind of get it was good to get to know them. And Peter McFan, one of the staples of the Cave Dwellers, he'd always joke that now that we're giving me money, you got to kind of accept my requests. And he always wanted me to make him a sandwich. So I've always kind of just been called Sanger after that. I didn't know what Sanger meant as well, being Canadian. And it's kind of just stuck ever since. So they've made some great shirts, and it's been pretty awesome to see.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. You tell us a little bit about the support that you get from the Cave Dwellers, Nick.
Yeah, the Cave Dwellers has been something that I didn't really foresee originally when I started playing. I never had a sponsor my first 3 years, and I don't know how it exactly came about, but we had somebody come through and said, "Hey, we'd like to sponsor a player," and they're kind of going through the available people because they're personal player sponsorships. And the Cave Dwellers were like, "Yeah, we'd love to sponsor Nick." And it's been good. It's been so awesome because it's no longer just like my parents cheering in the stands now, which is really nice. It's I have a group of fans, and we do a lot of things together. We do trivia nights. Scott Stevenson runs trivia nights. He's great at that, and sometimes now even hosts the games on the Brave on the loudspeaker. But that's been a lot of fun. It's really great to see the support. They come everywhere. They're on the road to Brisbane. They're on the road, of course, in the finals. So it's really awesome to have that. And they also do such great jobs supporting men's league. That's one of their big things. And through their trivia and through some of the donations and auctions of the jerseys that we give them for the sponsorship, they donate all their money they raise to men's league. Because that's such an awesome cause and something awesome to be part of.
You've had quite a few jerseys this year, Nick. Any favourites?
Yeah. I think I got to go with the Dijon. We win the championship in those. I think you got to go Dijon.
I did love the fact that everyone thought, oh, this is going to be the lucky jersey. We'll keep playing this until we lose. And then like 2 games later, you lost. But then you made it lucky again by winning the championship with it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's awesome that we got to have 3 different jerseys in the finals. We didn't repeat one of them. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think many teams get that. With also the indigenous jerseys were incredible as well. Super awesome design. Loved those. And yeah, the Miami Vice Spicy Dangles ones are a classic as well. So I don't know if we had any others, but those were pretty awesome.
I know a lot of the Melbourne Ice fans were a bit confused about how come they were wearing the white jerseys for the grand final.
Yeah.
Why were we? Yeah, why were we? Why were we? I actually don't know why we were home.
I'm thinking that was because you won semi-final 1, so you became the home team. I think that's the way it worked.
Oh, I was told that it was because you beat the highest seed team. That's why you got to be home team for the final. Because you beat the Bears. I don't know why, but that's what I was told anyway.
Maybe it's like coming out of that 1 seed bracket because it would have been like 1v.
Yeah.
But
in either way, you guys were wearing Dijon. They could have wore their navy jersey. I don't understand why both teams couldn't wear their home jersey in that instance.
I would have got that.
That would have been really cool. I like their navies.
Yeah. Anyway, that's jersey talk.
Yeah.
I do have some more comments here. So Matthew Wiggins, having sat in front of them all weekend, Nick, I can assure you that your parents cheered very badly.
They do. They do a great job.
And there's a lot of comments or comments from your mom about Casey. I always hear Casey. Yeah. It might have been someone else, but I thought it was from the same kind of area. And I was like, oh, yeah, come on, Casey. So yeah, lots of encouragement for Casey as well.
I can see that from my mom. Yeah.
We also have Warren here, Sanger. Man, lots of love here.
Didn't you also chat to Nick's parents, JJ?
Yeah. So I was with Matt. And, I turned around during the which game was it? I think it was the game between Melbourne and Newcastle.
I think that was
it was. Yeah, it was after the Bears had played against the Brave, and so I think I just asked them, "Oh, who are you?" I saw the Brave jerseys and was like, "Who are you playing? And who do you want to face?" And they gave me a really interesting answer that would blow the lid. No, they were pretty good. They were just like, we'll play anyone, and said that they were your parents, and asked if we were with Hockey Hype Australia because they saw the hoodies. And then I'm like, Nick wrote for us. Nick wrote an article for us. So I got to ask you, Nick, like, is this setting a trend for teams to follow? Because you're the only player who has written an article for Hockey Hype Australia this season, and then you lifted a cup, and those two things are correlated. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, same causation, correlation, same thing. Yeah. Well, it was good fun. I was super surprised when you dropped it because I was like fully in the finals mindset, but that was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah, we had our round table, and it was.
We didn't do very well, did we?
I didn't do well. I think I got 1.
Which is almost on par. I think we had a couple of people get 1, and then a couple of people get 2, and that was it.
That was about as well as we did.
Yeah.
My finals MVP didn't even play because we nominated that before they played.
Who did you nominate for finals MVP?
Adam Cadlick from the Bears.
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna be that's a good pick, but
I picked Kangalosi for Canberra, so I figure I got the team right. I just didn't get the player right, but he was
I
right
think that's
up there
pretty
in
close.
points.
He was right up there.
I ended up going with Hugh. I thought Mr. Big Time was going to explode on this finals weekend, but Canberra, Nick, you just kept him quiet. You kept him too quiet.
Hey, before we move on to Saturday, Alexei Toivonen.
Yeah.
Talk about his performance against Perth. Because we weren't sure how the goalie start thing was gonna go. We kind of guessed that maybe you split them Friday, Saturday, but then you're left with a real humdinger of who to play on Sunday. But what a performance!
Yeah, no, he's incredible. Like, even if you look back at Worlds, like how consistent that guy was, like every game, like this whole season, I don't think he's let in really a bad goal. And you go back there and you kind of give him the props and stuff, and like sometimes you go back there and you kind of get nervous energy, but not Lexi. It's just like just quiet. He's like, "Yep, thanks. Go and do my business." He's just super reliable. Like I'm never stressed when he's in net, and he just makes big saves. But it seems so effortless for him. He's like always just right in the right position. Yeah, he was huge for us. Like a few posts, a few backdoor chances. I remember me and Matt, I threw one up the middle accidentally trying to clear it, and then just I think it was Hiko Saka just had a nice shot like right off the bar, and just Lexi came out in front of that so well. So yeah, he was huge. And Teddy too. We were so fortunate to have probably two of the best goalies in the league, and they're both locals. So it's a huge privilege for us, and to have the opportunity to play them and not have them on short rest and give them the break they needed is great.
Yeah.
How important is it, Nick, for a team to have a goalie 1A, 1B situation?
It brings a lot of comfortability, I think. I think it back just because 2019 we had Climby, and Climby played most of the games, but he's also an ex-NHL player, so you felt pretty, confident in him. But I think it's also great, like with just Teddy and Lex, they're just great friends as well. There's no like real competition between them. It's just it's a really great partnership.
Yeah,
and it's great to see because I'm assuming if there's only one crease, a lot of other teams are going to have some animosity towards each other, but they're in it together. They go for warm-ups together every day. They do their coaching with Peter DeSalvo. They're really good friends. It's great to see. So I think having both of them is just like an ace up our sleeves. I feel like people are starting to kind of be aware of now.
Yeah, I think a few other teams also ran tandems this year as well, which has been unusual for our league, but I think it's a good advancement. Because it puts a lot, because there's a lot of pressure on one goaltender to be that goaltender for the entire season. Like I even think we saw that even with the Brave at the start of the year when Alex was the only one who really was available because Alexei was injured at the time. So when Alexei returned, it really kind of enabled that tandem to work well and improve the Brave.
Yeah,
Tristan, I know you do a lot of goalie stats, Tristan. Have you done a 1A, 1B comparison compared to teams that only have a 1?
Not off the top of my head. I was just looking then. So Alexei ran a save percentage over 900 this year, which for local goalies is pretty rare. Outside of your two sort of usual suspects in Kimmer and Dane Davis over the last 10 years, I think in a full AIHL season, the only other local goalie who's put up decent number of games and over 900 was JPM back in 2014. So he's in pretty rare company to have a decent sample size and running over 900 save percentage. It just shows how good a goalie he is and how important he's been since he came back from that injury.
I don't know if this is right. Did Downey also get over 900 this season? I think he did.
He did.
He was the other one, sorry.
A breakout season for him.
Yeah,
I've been watching Upside for quite a few years when he was playing for the Bears first and second time and also the Ice and the North Stars. And, it's been a career year for him, that's for sure. A bit more maturity, I think, as well. He's a confidence goalie, and this year he had confidence in spades but wasn't up himself about it.
Well, before we move on to Saturday, just a shout out to our quality partner, TTC Global. They work with companies to ensure software meets your customers' needs and is ready for the real world. So whether you're a startup launching your first website and app or an enterprise upgrading your internal systems, the expert team at TTC Global has got your testing angles covered on everything from functionality and security to performance and accessibility. Victory is in the details, so reach out via email australia@ttcglobal.com using code HHA2024 and get on the power play with TTC Global today. They test so that you can sit back and enjoy the hockey. And we had our TTC Global and HHA hoodies for the on-the-ground team over the weekend, which was nice and warm in O'Brien Ice House. But moving on to Sunday, that game, Sydney Bears.
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
He's already
They're
ahead of
all
himself.
days. I'm already ahead of myself.
It's okay,
It's a
we know
anyway.
you got a soft spot for the Bears, but we can talk about Saturday.
Let's move straight to Melbourne Ice, Newcastle North. No. We are going to get onto the Bears v Brave game first off, of course. Nick, how was the team kind of feeling? What was the message heading into that game against the top-seeded Bears?
I think we were comfortable with the Bears. I think more so than Perth because we'd kind of beat them a few weeks ago in a pretty good game. We kind of knew what game they like to play. They're a big, neutral zone regroup, kind of hinge back to the D, take it slowly. And we liked our kind of our game against them. We kind of heard rumors that Kadlik wasn't playing, but Matt again was trying to be good in the mindset, be like, hey, if he plays or not, doesn't matter. Still got to let it go. But yeah, we kind of watched some good video, but we were also pretty confident after going through that adversity in that battle on the Friday night that whatever they threw at us, we could take. So pretty positive, pretty calming. Everyone was kind of pretty good spirits, laughing, having fun, and worked out pretty well for us. So yeah, it was a good game, good fun. I think we were pretty confident going into that one.
Nick, can I ask? Sorry, Nick.
No, you go.
Nick, was it better that you played on Friday night and had a close game compared to having a 5-0 game like the Ice had, or not playing on Friday at all?
Yeah. So with the short rest, it was hard. Like even in warm-ups, you go around for a few laps and like, okay, my legs are pretty gassed, and that's not even one shift in. But I think because it was so close and such a hard-fought battle that it gave us just a lot of confidence. I think had it been a bit of a blowout and a 5-0 victory, we're kind of maybe different mindset of like, we're just, our legs aren't in it. We're going to have a big battle today. But yeah, I think because it was close, it gave us the confidence. I think if it had been a blowout, I don't think it would have been positive for us. Who knows? Maybe it would have been, but
The what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think that's probably right. I think having a close game, the first game was good, and it created a good second game. Although I must say, the Brave did look very tired in that third period. You guys
look tired, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were like physically starting to reach that stage. Yeah, that's when the Bears were really pressing hard at the time. So yeah,
I think
it was a great start though.
Yeah, in that third period though, Nick, like especially after that second goal got awarded, and you saw the Bears were pushing there and things were getting pretty tight. Having come out of that tight game on Friday night and being able to deny Perth when they're pushing at the end, surely that gives you a fair bit of confidence in that moment just to stay calm and to ride it out.
Yeah, for sure. We've been there before. I don't know if it was 4-2 at the time or 5-2, but even before the review, we're like, it doesn't matter. We still have a good cushion. If we can't protect a 3-goal lead with like 10 minutes to go, that's on us. So yeah, we were confident. I think we had already kind of mentally prepared when the review was happening. Like even if they award the goal, we're good. We're fine. Let's just shut it down. We have a great goalie in net. We can do it. It was good. I think, also coming from Friday, that gave us a lot of confidence as well.
Can I ask you, one guy that I was really impressed with, smart plays, scored the first goal, set up the last goal with just an unselfish move, could have taken the puck to the net, went around the net, found Matt Clark as the trailer, and then Matt Clark iced the game 5-2. Justin Malin, What has he added to the team? He may not be in the top 6 in points in the league, but gee, he seems like a really good player.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get a lot of credit, and he does so much for us, especially centering a quarterback in that third line. He's such a smart player as well. He's like very slippery, and he loves to pass the puck, so he really gets you involved in the game. He's just like it's not bad. He's a big chatter, loves the chatting, just positive, tells you where to go. I love it because, I trust him. He tells me where to do. I'm like, perfect, boom, done. I'll go wherever you want me to go. He's super reliable in that sense. Great leader. And, I don't know how many points he had, but, he's not up there, but he's such an impact player for us. You take him out of our third line, it's a very different looking third line.
Yeah, I must admit, from like the sidelines this year, like looking at it, he has seemed like he really loves that leadership kind of role. Like he's out there trying to, basically, get everyone involved. I know. I from the outside in, it looks like he's a big important leader for the team. I don't know.
100%. Yeah, no, he's he's super vocal. We love it. He's super, super positive. I think that's one thing that's always stuck out to me. He's like always chatting. He's always been like, right. He's got these great sayings, even in practice, he's just chirping. He's loving life. So he's a great asset. He's a great leader for us. And, he was huge in our finals, unsung hero. And that nasty pickoff in the second game, just read that easily. Boom, done. Mm-hmm. He says he doesn't like to shoot, but he's a clap bomb, and he doesn't want to admit it, but he can shoot. Mm-hmm.
I think that was the first time this season that Timmy Newmark had given the puck away, and when you watch the replay, like Malin's speed, he gets up there. Like Newmark thought he had the D-to-D pass pretty clear, and Malin just read it absolutely perfectly, and puts it past Kimmer. But we do have an Austin Kangallosi goal to show here, which spectacular passing play.
Of regulation, well and truly now. 7:53 to go in period 2. Here's a steal by Harvey. Harvey now, one move down the clock to Kangallosi. What a goal! Austin Kangallosi makes it 2-0 on a great setup there from Harvey and Ratcliffe. And just like that, the H. Newman Reid Trophy winners trail by 2.
Well, now have a think about that, because that whole play started with confusion in the neutral zone, and two Bears collided and they lost the puck. And that
we should have had a trigger warning for Bears fans. So my apologies, Bears fans, before that goal.
Team goal, right?
I'm sure Bears fans knew that was coming.
I think watching Kangallosi and Ratcliffe, especially as the season's gone on, work together, and along with TK on that line, has been great. I think when Austin came in early in the year, those first few games, I remember watching it and thinking the struggle is going to be to find someone to go with him, to be able to play off him. And I think the way they've managed to work, like Stu's worked that line with Ratcliffe and with TK there, they've managed to develop really good chemistry. And it just showed there.
Well, I think it's really improved. Like it shows in just how much Kangallosi production increased as the season went on as well. Like it took him a bit of time to adapt to the league, adapt to the team and the rink. But he just kept getting better and better. And once you got those lines worked out, it improved no end.
Every time I was in Melbourne, and I saw probably on about 4 separate occasions Kangallosi out walking, and every single time Jake Ratcliffe was right there beside him. So building chemistry off the ice and on the ice. You love to see it.
I think we got an interesting comment here from Willie Krause. My eye is twitching.
For the Bears fans with the twitchy eyes as well. Look, obviously Saturday wasn't their day, but I think there's a lot to like about the future for Bears as well. Obviously, look, Brody Lindell's had an incredible year, and some of the young guys coming through the Bears show quite a lot of promise there. Seeing the potential for changing the guard in net as well, with Downey having that great year. it shows that they're not going anywhere. The Bears are going to be around the pointy end for a few years to come too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's but you see that across the league. Like you look at almost every team that we've got, there's been either massive improvement, a lot of young guys seemingly coming through and taking a lot more responsibility, and yeah, great performances all around. Like I just see upshots almost all around.
Yeah. Just before we get into that second game, just a little shout out to the AIHL photographers. In clockwise from the top left, there's Verity Griffin, who normally is the photographer for the Canberra Brave, Jamison O'Malley, Newcastle North Stars, Phil Taylor, head of photography and Melbourne Mustangs, Cassandra Edwards with the Perth Thunder, and Willie Krauser from Kraus Sports Photography and also the Sydney Bears. We've got this one of Willie and Angenique because they were both working. Angenique was working and was the one that took that original photo. Just a huge shout out to the photographers for the quality of content that we had access to was unbelievable.
Yeah, and on the go, like it was like during games, and they were uploading photos like live. It was pretty great.
I know for me, I was writing match reports from home, and there'd be moments there where I'd see something really big, really special happening, and thinking, did a photographer get that? I want to check at the intermission. Did they get that? Did they get that? And on quite a few occasions, I'm actually planning a series of more of a photographic essay of the finals rather than a match report. And you see, oh, Jamison got that one. Phil got that one. Net Cam was awesome. You know, the photo of the Brave players that was taken from the net cam of you all around the goal with the trophy there, that was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to, and there's still photos coming up, days later. Phil Taylor was saying today that I think there was how many photos taken that were just used over the weekend, and there's probably about 2,000 in total. By the time that they've sorted through all of them between the 5 photographers.
Yeah. Nick, do any of the players, do you guys look at the photos that are produced?
Oh, every game. Oh, yeah. It's like my whole camera roll.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. No,
how have you found like the photography and like the social media and other media, us included, in that this year compared to previous years?
No, it's pretty awesome. I think it's been such a noticeable jump. I think in the last 2 years, especially this year. I think so. The quality of the photos. Not that they were bad before. It's just there's just so many more now, and I just there's always a great photo of you every game, and I'm like, wow, how did you even catch that?
700 posted over the weekend.
Crazy amounts. And, Paul and Verity are the ones for the Brave, and they always just, I don't know how they do it. They just make like the jerseys look so good and crisp, and it just looks incredible. And the media in general, like the AIHL TV is awesome as well. But yeah, I love your guys' content. I'm a big fan of you guys. So yeah, I love how it's kind of coming. It's not coming full circle. It's just being elevated. Probably the right term.
Yeah, I think he's also done a lot of work on the AI as well.
Yeah, Hugh and he had Brock Bentley as a videographer as well, and there was another videographer there too. His name escapes me, but was such great content.
And the videos they were producing like that were brilliant. And they were posting up. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's move on to Newcastle and Melbourne Ice. And this was another cracking game. You had obviously Canberra Brave Perth was the game of the day on Friday. Well, this was as far as storylines. No offense, Nick, but this was probably game of the day Saturday.
No offense.
Back and forth. How good is it? I'm gonna start off with a replay. How good was it to see this guy back on the ice after a long layoff due to injury.
Nice, and then it's been controlled by Newcastle. 13-9 is the shot count in favour of Melbourne. I say Newcastle really. Oh,
there's another one. There it is, and it's Klugerman. Big surprise. And that's one where that high-flying Melbourne Ice offense gets caught, I'll say, cheating the zone a little bit. They leave a guy like Klugerman, who nobody's seen a lot of this season. They just leave him in space, and it's a lot of reaching. When you reach for pucks, just like Caruana and Albrecht do there, you're...
Something was mentioned on the broadcast as well, that it looked like the Melbourne Ice sort of was surprised to see Riley Klugerman play, which seems like a little bit like they were unprepared, which is a bit of a surprise to me. Like, I thought the rumours coming out of Newcastle were that he was getting close to being able to play, so you'd prep for him being in the lineup, right? Or at least be aware of where he is on the ice. You know he's a good quality player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he adds a lot to Newcastle, like that lineup. Like, they've really missed him this season, him being out injured. Like, you know, with him and like Ethan Hawes there, like, it adds so much to that team.
In the one game that he did play in the regular season, he put up 6 points.
That was massive.
Yeah.
And that's where that photo that we keep using all the time comes from. That game earlier this season.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he underperformed the finals. He didn't put up 6 points.
We do have obviously Newcastle. They got off to a flyer. They went up 2-0, then 2-1. Then it became 3-1 at the end of the second period. And at the start of the third, I was running through my head names of people to message to Ben Armstrong to ask for media availability for post-game press conferences. And I'm going through in my head who I'm going to ask. And then Melbourne Ice starts to come back. And man, that was a heck of a performance from the Melbourne Ice.
Yes, I think a few of our North Stars fans didn't particularly like what happened after this point.
Sorry.
Block your history.
But I think, you know, it's funny, like Matt Wiggins was behind the bench. He was behind the Newcastle bench. Well, not actually on the bench. That would have been escorted out by security. But he watching the interactions between Amelia Matheson and Dave Ferrari and Kevin Noble and the players, and being like, this is extraordinarily good communication. Like, after every shift, giving feedback to players, making sure that they're prepared and know what to do next shift, etc. But Melbourne Ice, I think the coaching staff did a phenomenal job at Newcastle. The young team that they've got did a phenomenal job. Hunter Allen, the noise that the Newcastle North Stars fans made after he got an assist on Wahib Darja's goal was unreal. As an outsider and a neutral, and I am a neutral, I finally get the Newcastle fans. Like, I got it. Like, there is
That's
this
taken you long enough, JJ.
There is this incredible, unimaginable love that they have for Newcastle players and for the young Newcastle players that come up through the system. And watching that and hearing the crowd, like, they know their team. They know everyone in their team. And whenever they get accomplishments, they are so loud. And I finally get it. It's taken me a while, but man, I get it. It was pretty cool.
It's almost like Hunter scored the goal himself. It was a good bomb from the blue line, and as I've mentioned before, he wasn't getting much ice time last year, and so he was given a task to basically convert himself to a D-man and you'll get more ice time, and that's been the situation for most of the year. So for him as a relatively inexperienced D-man to deliver that sort of pass to Darge in a final situation, it was the crowd. It was like he'd scored himself. He hasn't scored a goal yet in the AI, but from the blue line, he mustn't be far.
Yeah.
And how good was the goal charge as well? I actually thought when they scored that, this is it. This is done. Newcastle have basically going to win this. They've stopped the ice comeback. It's going to be okay. And then the ice just, what an end to a game.
Yeah. So we do have a Melbourne Ice goal, and it's a local guy, Lockie Sinclair. How good was this?
The solo now goes out wide, looking for Albrecht. Wide up, shot, and it's a goal to Melbourne Ice! Lockie Sinclair! Even he can't believe it.
Yeah, you see what it means to him. And that's it. Now it's changing the narrative. And it's such a good play. Bunch of one-touch passes, and it's that one-timer.
Okay, so if the scores stay as they are, who had Lockie Sinclair game-winning goal in the final on your bingo card?
I think
I don't think the Lockie had it, I think.
Very few people would have thought that, but this is what happens in games like this. You come back, and it's usually those players you don't expect who can come up.
It's such a good moment. Like, that is what hockey is all about, right?
Yeah.
Not a game.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that's up with the Hamish Powell one from 2016 for unlikely game-winning goals.
Who would be your equivalent, Nick, in the Brave?
Oh, first guy that came to mind was just Charlie York. I think we'd go bananas if Charlie scored a big goal like that. I don't know if we could handle it if Charlie scored a big goal like that. Or Henry, or one of the Yorks. Would have been great. But no, that would, even from my perspective, that was unreal to see. I was going bananas for the kid. I thought it would have been awesome. I was just saying to my dad, I think 2 minutes earlier, I'm like, oh, he's pretty good. Like, he's moving the puck well, playing big minutes down the stretch, and then stick past him, Alvey, and unreal shot. It must have been an amazing night. So, congrats to him.
Get Yorked. Get
Yorked.
We had a chat with Gooch after the game, and he said, Lockie Sinclair is a guy he didn't really think much of last season. He's come back and proved him wrong. Like Gooch with the endless quotes, but just being like, he's so happy for the kid. He'll be playing hockey. He said, long after I'm gone. He's a player, and man, he showed up at a big moment for the Melbourne Ice.
Yeah. How would you feel as a player if you heard that, Nick, to think, and we're paraphrasing Gucci, to say, oh, I didn't think much of him when he first came, but he proved me wrong. How would you feel about that as a player?
I think I'd hate it personally. I feel like that'd be a bit disrespectful, but each their own, I guess. Maybe the relationship between them is very different. Maybe it's much more cordial, but I think that would really hurt my feelings. But yeah, you don't know it perfectly. Mm-hmm.
There's so much that we don't see off the ice.
Yeah, we have another comment here from Andy Cangalesi. Nice comeback by the Ice, but why did Newcastle not go to neutral zone trap? I think that's really a question for Newcastle to answer.
I think from the Ice's point of view as well, I think what brought them back into the game, and it was really good to see, was they got a couple of goals from relatively unlikely sources. Like obviously Sinclair, nobody saw coming. Jeff Solo. Jeff Solo scored the third one.
Jet did also score over the weekend.
Yeah,
on Friday.
So yeah, like lots of unusual sources for goals. You are right. Like considering they had like Austin Albrecht, which everyone thought that's where all the goals are going to come this weekend for the Ice, and yet Roman really took the mantle for slotting home the goals mostly. But yeah, then otherwise it was coming from all kinds of different places.
Yeah. We did have this is a great shot from Phil Taylor. We did have a chat with Lockie Sincotta in the post match press conferences. Just a shout out to Skaters Network and Bauer too, who was so supportive, and Sean Sonta was really helpful, helping us record the press conferences as well, and getting the banner, helping get the banner made up, which looked pretty professional. In contrast to when people saw me rock up, you could just point to the banner and be like, yeah, we're professionals. That's what it looks like. But yeah,
Nick, did you do one of these interviews?
No, actually, I didn't. No,
it didn't.
no, I'm probably thankful for that.
Because there were quite a few interviews going up all weekend. It was kind of good.
No, I watched them. They're great. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few that
was really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll filter a few more out, and we'll talk about a couple more in the show, because there are some good ones. Alex Tetros finish to his interview.
Yeah.
After Sunday was phenomenal. I loved it. Let's get into Sunday. Am I on the right day? Did I say the right day? Sunday. All right. Yep. Let's kick things off with a goal by a Canberra Brave legend.
Kept in by Albrecht. Harvey looking to clear, has support. Tyler Cabarra adds it. Harvey scores! Matt Harvey scores! Brave scores short-handed. They take a 2-goal lead.
And you see there Ashita diving over, very un-Ashita-like. He's usually so composed, always in the butterfly. And you can see that it's just so well. He was so convinced that they were shooting and not passing there that he commits so hard to the shot that he just, in desperation, tries to dive across. And when you're doing that as a goalie, you're giving the player a lot of effort to hit the top of the net, and that's all he does. Again, you get it over the goalie. The goalie takes the bottom of the net away. If you can get it up, you have a pretty good chance to score. You can see what it means to the bench there.
So, a 2-0 lead is the hardest lead in hockey to protect, but we have plenty of time left on the clock.
I tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen anyone so surprised about scoring a goal than Matt Harvey, that goal. His face was, the expression is just, that's now etched in my mind forever.
What were your thoughts, Nick? Because you're often a defensive partner with Matt Harvey. What were your thoughts when you saw him steaming down the ice on a 2-on-1?
That was the best, because I was in the box at the time too, so it was that much sweeter for me. I was losing my mind. I think Ken told me to shut up, so because there was some camera mics there. But no, that was unbelievable. I was just praying that we got out of that, even not losing a goal. And then for Matt to score on top of that in the final game of his career, like it's first time his dad's watched him play on Australian soil. It felt storybook. It felt amazing. I can't even imagine what it was like for him, but from that point on, it was pretty sealed for us. It felt like.
I remember I was in the Slack with Tristan and Sean, who were remote as well as I was, and knowing their backgrounds, I thought I could feel the explosion from their respective computers when Harvey scored.
It was just so unbelievable. You can't write that. Like that's like fairy tale stuff. Like we all thought, it's going to be a fairy tale if we make in the final, and the Brave take the cup home and Matt Harvey wins. But to do that as well as scoring in the final, and I didn't realize this before, not till afterwards, having his family there as well for the first time he's actually played for the Brave, like that's just amazing.
Yeah,
And
it was really special. Sorry, Tristan, go.
I was going to say, like, incredible goal. Best facial reaction I've seen to a goal all weekend. He was on the penalty kill as a defenseman. What the hell is he doing up there?
Yeah, exactly. What is he doing up there?
I was going to say, Nick's just let him go up, but of course you're in the box.
Yeah,
Warren has said you planned it all along, right?
yeah. I fully meant the trip and tripped out, but yeah, totally. I mean, shout out to TK. That was a great hezzy there. Put it on a toe and slide. That was a nice move.
Talking of players in the box, Joey Hughes seemed like he was trying to battle all of his evil exes in Joey Hughes versus the world. Especially the battle with him and Matt Harvey to start with, and then Bailey Kamara.
Yeah, the Bash brothers. No, yeah, I think Bailey was incredible that game. He so many great hits, but like just remained so calm. Made right plays. You know, even when he's getting choke slams to the ice, didn't do anything, just took it, and you know that was huge for us. We got another 2 power plays out of that, I think, and then 2 goals as well. So.
Nick, how was it having Clark enter the team quite late this season? Because from the outside, he seems to have grown in influence within the team, and he really performed outstandingly on the weekend. How was that? You know, because it kind of changes the dynamic when you bring in someone new quite late.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a surprise. I think, you know, I think with imports, it's hard, you know, things happen. I think the guy we originally got broke his hip. So, you know, life happens. Can't be upset about that. But, no, Clarkie was a contact from Vance from last year. Jordy kind of picked up the phone, and Clark was just like, "Why not? Let's go. It's Australia. Might as well." I think he just came off college this year. He played only 6 games of professional hockey. And yeah, he fit in so well. He's such a good guy. Love hanging out with him. Super funny. And also just a ridiculous skater in hands. Just once he kind of knew what he could get away with, he was just toying with people. It was unreal.
Like I felt like also,
he was a huge addition.
I really felt like also him entering in the team also enabled Cam Marks to really also flourish by going forward a lot more often than he was before, which gave the Brave a lot more forward momentum in games.
Yeah, I think, you know, having kind of the pairings we ended up having, we were playing around with them for a bit, and I think Wombat went forward when Tommy was injured for a while. But we had, you know, Marasco and Farmy as well. They didn't play, unfortunately, that much, but they're a huge part of our season. You know, Marasco and Farmy were such stalwarts back there. They can be physical. They can get the puck out. And, you know, that just when he came, you know, now we have 7 guys. It spread the load a little bit more and kind of allowed everyone to be a bit more free and have a bit more fresh legs. You weren't, you know, running Marksy every second shift. You gave him some time, and he could go out there and do his thing. Do some crazy, you know, Kale McCarr stuff that he does. It's the spinoramas and then under the sticks.
Yeah. Although I'm still sad we didn't see any Matt Buskas there at the end of the game final either. I know how much Tristan is a Matt Buskas fan.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we've got to rep. He's a former colleague from KPMG, so it's nice to see Bucky.
I forgot about that.
Which one of you guys was going to nominate him for MVP?
Tristan. I still think he got robbed.
He robbed.
But we are going to play the final seconds of the game when it was sealed.
Sorry, JJ.
Nick. Oh, yep. Sorry,
JJ. Before you do that, it was 2-0, and then all of a sudden, Casey Kabara scored 2 power play goals within 40 seconds. So then it's 4-0. What are you thinking at that stage?
I can't believe this is happening. Like it was crazy. Yeah. Casey scores 2 goals, you know, makes 1 for each of the brothers and 1 of each of the games. It was great. He sniped, and it felt surreal because I can't believe we kept getting power plays. Was like, we kept saying to each other on the bench, like, be really calm, be really like careful with your stick, because they're going to look for to even them up. And we got just boom, boom, boom. I felt like 5, 6 right at the end. But yeah, great job our power play. Our power play, you know, struggled a lot at the start of the season. We were having a lot of problems, and then we went to this new formation, and it just clicked. It was just instant. And so it's been kind of it's great because also I don't think that every other team had a lot of video on it as well. With the new formation, and yeah, it just worked perfection this week. I don't know what our percentage was, but it felt high. It felt like whenever we needed a power play goal, they scored.
Like the movement was really good because you had two players kind of below the goal line, and just cycling the puck, and some good movement.
And the commentators also picked up on this too. Like they were just like, "Oh, Canberra's worked out how to basically be able to beat a cheater on the power play, and they're playing almost the same way each time, and it's working every time."
It's it's a weird formation, and like I've never seen it done on 5-on-4, sometimes 5-on-3s. And as like I've done because I play against the penalty power play in practice, you kind of get lost because you're turning fully back and forth, kind of up to the top guy and up to the down low guy. And all of a sudden you're kind of lost for a second, and then boom, either Casey or Matt Clark comes in with a one-timer heavy, and you're like, all right, that's a goal. And it's a pretty effective one, but as a team, you don't see it a lot, so it just really throws you off for those few first times you see it.
So it was 0 after one period, and then after two periods, it was 5-0 Canberra. What are you thinking, and how are you feeling coming into the third period?
Yeah, we went into the locker room real pumped. I think everyone was just like beside themselves. It was a really long, and it breaks this. I felt like I don't know how long the breaks were, but it felt like I'd look up and it'd be like 10 minutes every time left. So we really kind of settled the nerves. We all kind of were just saying, hey, just take it really easy. Not easy, but just like no need to force anything. Play smart hockey. You don't give them any reason. Just play trap. Just relax. Still don't tense up. Don't be scared to make plays, but just play smart hockey. And we came out there and I think we did a decent job of that.
I must admit, both games seemed quite similar, both the Saturday and the Sunday, in the fact that it was 0-0 after the first period, and then you guys had blistering second periods, and were then trying to hold it on and finish it in the third. But very strong second periods. It's not been that way last year, especially. The Brave were very poor in the second periods and great in the third, but this year it's been the other way around.
Yeah, I don't think we can attribute it to anything special on our end. It's not like we changed the way we play. I think just luck of probability distribution just happens to fall in the second this time. But no, it was great, and it's better than that than the third, so makes life easier.
Yes, and Casey Kabara, ever the showman with his his sellies. They were very photographic.
Oh, they're great.
So we will run the final few seconds, and sit back, relax, put your mind back there, and then take us through your thoughts afterwards, Nick.
Captain of the Brave with 10 seconds remaining. Kabara lost the puck into the corner. Stephen and Kasha. Time is running out, and the CBR Brave are Goodall Cup champions for 2024. They have won their third Goodall Cup, dominating this encounter, defeating the Melbourne Ice 5-0. And for the second year in a row, there has been a grand final shutout.
Yeah, I mean, it's all based. I mean, Tetro plays a good game, does everything he needs to do, makes a couple great saves early on the 2-on-1 chances.
I tell you what, I know it wasn't shown there, but the other camera of Alex at the end there, literally throwing everything up at once, is one of the best scenes.
I think he busted his helmet too. So it worked out well. But I know the one you're talking about. It's incredible just watching him just get excited and kind of finally hear that buzzer go off. He's just losing his mind. It was awesome to see, and it was really fun to do that. It's hard to describe.
One thing I wanted to ask.
Or were you on the bench?
I was on the bench. Yeah. So it was different. I think I wasn't there for 2018, but in 2022, it was close. Like it was still like within reach for the Newcastle. So there was like that anxiety and that stress there still. You didn't want to blow it, and they scored with like 30 seconds left to make it like 3-2 or something. And so this time you kind of were like looking around at 2 minutes left, and you're like, I don't think they can do it. And so you're starting to like, hug the guys, and everyone's kind of like, getting kind of ready, and the anticipation builds, and yeah, it's just great, and you just kind of go blank for about 5 minutes. You're just super excited, the anxiety, the adrenaline is just all kind of washing over you, and it's just celebrating.
Awesome.
Nick,
We did see.
Sorry, go Sean.
I was going to say we did see video today that was focused on the bench leading up to the last minute.
Yeah,
and you guys were etching. Like some of the guys started putting their legs over, to get onto the ice as quickly as possible. Yeah, you could see the excitement building.
Yeah. No, it was good. I remember in 2022, I lost both my helmet and gloves, so I was just like, okay, I'm going to store these here this time. I'm not going to lose them. I had my mouth guard like in my case already. I was like, okay, not losing this anymore. But that was good. It was so exciting. You're just jumping up and down. You're just hugging everything in sight. You just, feeling like you overcame a 1-10 start to come back here and win it. It's just you didn't feel like it was possible at times.
Yeah, and then there was Kai Miettinen out there crying, like just overcome. I've not seen that before. It was really an emotional moment.
I think, I was all fine, and then I saw Deansy crying, and then I just started bawling up too. And I think when you saw him crying, you're just like, and you knew what it would have meant to him, and what it would have meant to Judy. You just become, you just can't really keep it in. Mm-hmm.
Have you got a go-to guy that you'd want to hug first in that situation, Nick?
Not first, I'd say. I think there's so many guys out of, everyone's a great friend on the team, my mind goes to Matt because he was my D partner. He's a great friend, but everyone, whether it's Ricky Mitten or if it's like Victor Shadeen. His actual name's not Gif Shadeen. We just call him that. But everyone I love. It would be great. It's just a special moment to have with everyone.
I'm really glad that last minute sort of flowed, because there was one game, I can't remember which one it was, because there were 5 games over the weekend, where that last minute or two seemed to take 5 hours. So I'm glad it was just done, out of the way, and then you can go celebrate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. I think, this year the celebration was a lot smoother too. 2022, I think everyone kind of came on the ice, and I think that was kind of a mess. And then I remember in 2022 there was a bunch of random people in the change room, and that didn't happen this time, so that was good. But yeah, it was
the photos coming from the change rooms were pretty epic.
One photo I want your opinion on and to tell us what's going on, Nick. First of all, let's go sentimental first. Kai Miettinen and Matt Harvey skate up to receive the Goodall Cup, and then Kai Miettinen defers to Wombat to let him skate with the cup first. What does that tell you about the type of character, first of all, that Captain Kai is, and just the respect that Matt Harvey has earned over his time in the AIHL?
Yeah, Kai, such a great leader. He's he's super strong-willed. He's like does whatever it takes, super consistent, but also like just such a good friend as well. Like you could call him at 2 a.m, whatever, he'll be there. But yeah, also such a fun guy. And those two, Matt and Kai, they've been friends for a decade now, and they've done everything together, and they're on the leadership team when Matt was captain. I know that Kai talks to probably him a lot, and I think a lot of us still lean on Matt as a leader, and as more of like he's such a as a psychologist by trade, he's got a great mindset about things, and he really knows how to process emotions and get in the right mindset. So he's always really good about that and helping us out. And Kai, of course, he understands how much it means to Wombat, and I don't think Kai would say anything like, "Oh, that was such a grand gesture." He just that's what he felt. That's what the moment was. And yeah, it was great to share it with Wombat. I'm sure Wombat's super, super thankful, and it probably meant the world to him.
And this is the photo. So I'm going to get your thoughts. Just a minute. I'm just going to set it up on the screen.
It's a good photo. That's a great photo. Yeah. So the Wolf Mask is the Player of the Game award. We got 2 this year. We got a belt, a WWE wrestling belt with the Brave logo on it.
I think Alex got the belt in this game.
Yeah. Well, Alex actually, he got it on Saturday. Well deserved, completely. And we first gave it to Matt, the Wolf, and you do your howl, and the guys cheer. And as you do, you kind of have the fun. But yeah, Alex after was just like he was trying to decide who to give the belt to. We're kind of just chanting, "Give it to yourself, give it to yourself," like he wouldn't do it. And he kind of mid-sentence kind of just stumbles on it. She's like, this belt is for everyone. This is for everyone. And then we all just kind of start erupting. It was pretty special. It was pretty awesome. And I loved it. It was such a genuine, he was fully lost on who to give it to, and came to that conclusion really organically. So it was pretty fun.
That is
Big
awesome.
shout out to the Canberra Brave for allowing some of the photographers access to the dressing room. Like the photos that we've seen from there have been amazing. It probably has resulted in the team receiving a cleaning fine because there's evidence. But how many burpees did you guys go through?
So we didn't actually drink that many of them. Because we started just spraying them every time we got them. We couldn't stop it. So I probably only had a beer before I left the change room. But no, that was pretty cool. And I can't believe Verdi came in there with her camera. That's crazy because she would have been just soaked as well because she was in straight clothes. My gear smells like beer. I hate it. I aired it out today. It's disgusting. So again, good on her. Hopefully, we reimburse her for some cleaning fees and get her camera refitted or whatever.
Have you got one of those queued up, JJ? Have you got one of those queued up, the beer ones, spraying the beer or whatever it was for the dressing room?
I don't. I do have Nick Christensen's right eye queued up.
What?
If you see on this one, you can just see if you zoom in. Your right eye just where the cup meets the rest of the trophy.
Great idea for that pick.
So whose idea was this, Nick? I was talking about this.
I have no clue.
Phil Taylor.
I think it was the camera. I think it was Phil because I was ready to go inside, and I think it was Teddy who was like, "Let's come here," and I was like, "Oh, where are you going?" I've never seen a championship team take it out of the net. But it's an awesome photo, incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they use the camera from inside the net for video replays?
They did.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and I actually now think that this is now a new tradition. I think every team from now is going to be doing this.
I think Phil tried to do it for the A-dub, and it didn't quite work because the camera had been bumped or something. Or that Phil might be able to confirm, but yeah, this I hope this is a tradition. Yeah.
They took some convincing.
I was skeptical.
It's awesome.
It's a great photo. But yeah, we do have the final thing that we do have, I guess, is our team of the week, where people can talk about how dumb we are. But this was our team of the weekend. Riley Klugerman, Jake Ratcliffe, Roman Kramer, and Matt Clark, Nick Christensen, and Tets, of course, rounding it out. We had Casey Kubara was so close to kicking out Klugerman there, but what a team! What a team!
Yeah.
What a final series, right? That this weekend was phenomenal.
No, that was such a fun weekend. I know it's hard with the 3 games back to back, but for us to beat, arguably, in my opinion, probably the 3 best teams, it was pretty awesome. So I noticed on like Sports Bet or whatever, I think we were underdogs every game, which was pretty cool.
How were your legs feeling by the end of it, Nick?
They're still gone. I don't think I'll go to the gym for another 4 months. Yeah. It was good. I don't know how some guys had energy to party on Sunday night. I was so done. Yeah, it was a lot of effort. I spent so much money on ice baths that weekend, so I'm gonna have to conserve future.
Yeah. Well, man, we've survived. You survived This is the longest. I think this is the longest Hockey Night in Australia show that we've had with a single guest. Thank you for your patience.
No worries.
Nick,
Thanks, guys.
and staying awake after your first day of work back after winning the Goodall Cup. Happy birthday to Steve Moller, who his birthday today. He's got the Goodall Cup.
It's
congratulations.
a pretty good birthday present, right?
And it was also Austin Kangalosi's birthday yesterday.
Oh,
so that was a pretty special birthday for him. 30th. So shout out Austin.
Yeah. He would have celebrated with Jake Ratcliffe, no doubt. I've seen them.
Yeah, I think
for next season.
Exactly. Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah.
And here we are with Billy Krause. Verity and Cass were covered in beer, and those cameras definitely will need cleaning.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts before we go off? Start our wrap up, peeps.
Nah, just thanks for all you guys' work this year. I loved reading it. I hope you guys continue on next year. And I think this was, my opinion, this was the best AIHL season ever. Not just because I won in the end. I think, regardless, I would have said it. Just 10 competitive teams. Every game was streamed. I thought it was just such a great year, and I hope we continue this momentum on.
Yeah, you couldn't go to any rink this year and think, yeah, we're definitely going to win here.
Yeah, you couldn't. Like every single game was intense, and it was awesome having the Asian League imports, and we got one Ukrainian player this year, maybe some more next year. I loved that. I think the official announcements every week for the suspensions, I got a kick out of that. That was a lot of fun. I'd always be excited to see who got suspended and who didn't, and reading the report and write up. It was great. I thought it was a really great year for the whole league. So I'm super thankful for it.
What have you got planned for the summer, Nick?
Big discussions about learning how to play tennis. I try to channel myself into something for a little bit, take a break for a little bit. I got a lot of weddings this year actually to go to, not my own, but a lot of them to go to. So yeah, it's probably it right now. But yeah, probably mid-November, October, I'll start working out again and going to drop in, but take some time off for now.
And what have we got planned for the summer, JJ?
We have got the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League, which will
the hockey just keeps rolling, starting. Eric.
But we've got Trans-Tasman Women's, I believe, is 19th and 20th of October up in Newcastle. So that'll be a series between the Australian senior women's team, the Aussie Flyers, and the Ice Ferns from New Zealand, the New Zealand women's team. So we'll be doing that, and then the AWIHL season starts, I think, November 3rd, and we will have this version of the show. The Hockey Night in Australia is really, we started off with the weekly wraparound, which was the weekly AWIHL recap show. So we'll be starting that in the new season in November. So that's, but for the next couple of weeks, I think I'm going to be trying to unplug as much as possible and just,
and then we'll have a new AI season rolling in. We've got Worlds next year in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Which Warren does have a question on this. When do teams for Worlds get announced? Any ideas, guys?
Come on, Nick. Give us the inside scoop.
I think ours got announced this year in March, maybe. So it was pretty late this year. I think that I have no clue about that this year.
Do you think having Worlds in Melbourne's a good boost for hockey in Australia?
I hope so. I don't know I don't think any of you guys went to Serbia this year, but there wasn't a ton of fans. And believe it or not, Australia had the most fans, which is
That
crazy
doesn't
considering they're
surprise me
halfway
because
around the world.
I think like a couple of years ago
Mhm.
it was in Romania and it was very similar again. Like Australia
Yeah.
had a lot of fans, and other than the Romanian games, there just wasn't that many people around.
hmm Yeah, but
Because
even like when we played Serbia, we were the home opener against Serbia. I'd say there was like 50, 60 people in the stands, which
Oh,
is
wow.
hard to imagine. And can you imagine what Australia's going to do? Like,
Yeah.
I imagine
Because
every
I'm very
Australia game
old.
sold out.
I remember the last time we hosted it back in 2011, and the Aussie games were pretty well sold out at the Ice House.
Mm.
The other games were pretty thinly sort of attended, but the Aussie games were packed, and the Aussie
Yeah.
Kiwi game was really tightly packed. So,
But
that
also,
would be great.
Tristan, think now just how much the production that now goes in it.
Yeah.
The Ice House compared to even 2011, like it's going to be an amazing experience for everyone.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be a great weekend of hockey.
You look at that AI finals, right? Like just the production on everything was massive, and I think, there was, even the broadcast, for instance, we had like pre intermission commentary and analysis on the period before. We had the refs all mic'd up. Like they just went to a new level. Yeah, and we had coach interviews. We actually had coach interviews. That was amazing.
Yeah. Big shout out as well. I had a chat with Ben Armstrong earlier today, and they had about 40 volunteers that were there at O'Brien Ice House. And we had Michael Ford, I believe, was stationed at the media room. It was really cool to chat with him. He's a fellow Leafs fan, so shared some sorrow.
Tears.
Just some tears, but they had 3 volunteers from the Brisbane Lightning who came down to help organize some of the volunteers as well. Marcel Tripp, Julie Hadley-Fixter, and Colleen O'Sullivan. They looked after the VIP area. Belinda Dwyer from the Mustangs was at the main door. So how good was it to have like so many, without the volunteers there, you couldn't run such an event as successfully as that. So kudos to the volunteers as well, and the production, the level of production. Sean, you were telling us a little bit about this earlier, what James Morgan and ATC did to kind of upgrade the experience.
Oh yeah, so prior to the event, they went around rewiring almost the entire arena. They installed 6 cameras along the glass rather than the 2 that they've had since 2012, which meant that you could pick up all these different sounds from the ice, which you couldn't before. Which is why you could hear every time it tings the post, or every time a skate goes by. It brings that experience.
Or Nick Christensen in the penalty box.
That's right. Yeah, like you actually heard, like for the first time, I think you heard players having those conversations with the refs, right? Like the leadership teams about players, being sent to the box, penalties. It was cool. It was great to hear.
Yeah. And a big shout out to Ben Armstrong for all the work that he did, of course, over the course of the season, but on the weekend. We had different things come up where we had like our media room was great. We had our press conferences there on Friday, and then they were doing like drug testing in the hallway, and so you can't record in the room. Like you're not allowed to record past the hallway, no photos, no video, but so we gave him a call. He sorted out a solution. We went down the end of the tunnels. It was great. So big shout out to him as well for his work. Casey Arkansas, who I see is in the chat, with helping with as the chief medical officer. Like all these people that wear multiple hats just to get games to be able to go ahead. The officials and man, really grateful. But yeah.
Oh, yes, and here we go. Both Ben and Kent were great across the weekend. People don't realize how much these guys put in. It's so true.
Yeah. It's easy when all you have is a sledgehammer. Every brick looks like it needs to be demolished. But we've got a lot of people who are builders in this league as well. So
and that's including the players.
It's really good to see. Yeah. 100%. But yeah, I know I asked for the final round a little while ago, but we got off on a tangent. I realized I hadn't thanked people, but yeah, any final thoughts, Pete's, before we well and truly say goodbye?
Just a big congratulations, Nick, and to all the Canberra Brave. It was an epic weekend. So congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to
thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support as well. Thank you to the fans. It was an incredible weekend. Hard to say no thank yous. There's probably 1,000 more. I know. I don't know who was doing the thank yous at the end there, but he had like 4 pages to go through, and probably didn't hit everyone up. So
that was Stephen White.
Yeah, no, he did it. Yeah, you could even tell he was getting tired of seeing the thank yous, but no, everyone was deserving. It was great.
Yeah. No, and it was great to hear the CBR chants as well, loud and proud in the arena. The traveling fans, every team's traveling fans, it just brought a real festival atmosphere. We were in and out of the hotel lift at Lesotho, and we'd always have full of hockey players in the lift. There was this couple there that were not hockey people, and they were like overwhelmed as far as what's going on. And it's like, well, come down to a Brian Ice house and you'll see. But yeah,
and I felt that last year as well. Like, we were at the whatever hotel it was down the street last year, and yeah, just hockey fans everywhere. Like, JFK just casually in the lift and everything. Like, and everyone it's a festival.
Yeah,
big shout out
to
JFK. By the way, he got badly injured over the weekend, so good luck with your recovery, buddy.
Yeah, good luck, Joe.
But yeah, we are Hockey Hype Australia. You can find us on socials at Hockey Hype AUS, our website www.hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au, where you can read all of our articles, including Nick Christensen's finals awards prediction article that won him the Goodall Cup last weekend. You can watch a replay of this via Facebook or YouTube, our YouTube channel. And if you want to give us a rating, that's great. If you want to like us and subscribe, that's great. We are in podcast form on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. For Sean O'Connor, Eric Brook, Tristan Metcalf, and Nick Christensen, I am Gordon Goodenough. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening all season. And we will be back next time.
Bye.
Yeah, big thanks to the fans.
All right, and now I have to find the outro video, so I'll just look like a dummy here.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.